Hi guys! How's everyone on this Saturday? How are you doing on this Saturday?
In a funk like me. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
It's so funny because I texted you this morning about what time I would be up there and I didn't hear back from you. I'm like, oh no, I wonder if she's okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the message.
Right.
I woke up.
And then when I called you, you did not seem like you were in the best mood that I have ever heard you to be in.
Well, you tell me. I got to bed late.
Right.
And then I was going to sleep in because I can because it's Saturday. But tell that to my neighbor that is using power tools at 7:45. 7:45. But you know what the worst part is? I didn't wake up from that. I woke up to my husband going, "Are you kidding me?" So then I'm like, "Oh,
then you're up.
There's power tools."
Yeah. Oh.
So I got woken up, and then when I got awake, I realized my shoulder was throbbing, which I'm not a friend of pain.
Yeah.
I don't like to be in pain. So then I was agitated. I just woke up feeling yuck.
Funk.
And you know what? It's interesting because the house was dark and I kept it dark and I kind of sat on the couch for a little bit and I didn't even eat anything and I just kind of felt crappy. Hi, Lori. And I could see myself beginning to feed that.
Yeah.
That place
because you just stay inside and you kind of put the covers over your head. I'm just gonna feel in a funk.
Yeah,
I'm
just gonna maybe watch something on TV and
Isn't it interesting because I feel like some days I'll set myself up really well to wake up in a great mood. So I'll go to bed early, I'll eat healthy the day before, I'll do yoga, and then sometimes you wake up and you feel like crap, and you're like, what happened? I was supposed to feel amazing this morning.
You killed your neighbor and their power tools before you got up.
Yes. Hi, Glenn. All right, so what we want to talk about today is kind of getting out of that funk and getting out of that feeling of, I get this sometimes too, where I just am so agitated and in my head and I just feel like I want to jump out of my skin.
Yes.
What is that about?
I think that's anxiety. For me, that's anxiety. When I wake up, and I call it spinning. It's when my head is just, it's like telling me things, and I can't seem to get it to stop spinning. And I know for me, that one, I get my shoes on and I start power walking. Even if I have 10 minutes to just loop my neighborhood, it's fascinating how getting those endorphins going in your body totally shifts and quiets that. Yeah.
It's funny because if I get up and this is hard for me at the time that I wake up, but if I get up and do a couple of just quick yoga moves before I get going, it calms that mind too. Yeah, it really helps that.
Exercise is amazing for anxiety and for stress. But what was interesting this morning, I looked up and my precious daughter came walking out of the room and she had the same scowl.
She was giving you the scowl too.
Yeah, she's like, I don't like this day. And I was like, well, don't get started with me because I don't like it either. Usually I'm her cheerleader and I was like, I don't like it either. So,
and it's so beautiful outside today.
Well, that's what happened. So she said, I had to go to Target. I had to get a gift for a little gathering I'm going to. And so I had to go to Target. So she said, well, I want to go to Target. And so the next thing you know, these are the steps that changed everything for me today. One, I moved my body. Had I gone back to bed, which I could have done had it not been for my lovely neighbor's power tools, but in another world, I would have maybe gone back to bed and just kind of pulled the covers over my head, but that wouldn't have worked because moving your body, right? My shoulder feels much better because I got a hot shower and I'm moving. My husband said, get some hot water on that. Iced it a little bit, so I'm moving around. Number 2, got in the car out in the sun. Yeah. It is gorgeous outside, right? So got in the sun. Number 3, put on fun music.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And my daughter was playing Snoop Dogg, which is, my guru. So we got some Snoop going. Snoop has a song called Smile, and it made us smile.
Really?
And it said, if you breathe in, you're achieving.
I
love it. So that's my guru for the day. So we got music,
right,
and then we laughed.
Yeah.
And so all of that, and so I think the tools are getting with somebody who makes you happy. Right? So even if you can power walk with a neighbor, or even call a friend on FaceTime that makes you laugh, or putting on 20 minutes of comedy in the background with Netflix, we can control that, right? We can put on a comedy show. So the energy, the movement, the sunlight, getting connected to somebody who makes you laugh, music, which alters us so much, right? and I'm really enjoying this day now.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because I feel like what happens is a lot of times we get so stuck in our depression, our anxiety, our sadness, that we don't think about, you know, we don't think anyone would want to hang out with us, or we don't think it will make us feel better. But it is amazing, like if you just take that step, how much it does change you. And I know for me, I have like this itchy thing in my eye. Glenn says coffee and Kahlua. Yeah.
Or just get up, start doing shots. What are we talking all this stuff for?
There's an idea.
Silly us.
So what I do, and I gotta tell you, this makes all the difference for me. And I know everyone's gonna be like, yoga. But I'm telling you, it just, whatever that thing is for you, just go do it. You know, for me, it's yoga. But I have to tell you, when I get in that spinny place, I go to yoga and exhaust my body, and I feel like a completely different person.
I love what you're saying, because what you're saying is, find your groove.
Yeah.
And we all do this. I do this when I work with clients in therapy. They come in and they're like, my life is great. Everything's wonderful. I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. And the first thing I say to them is, write it down. Why? Why are you happy? Oh, I'm exercising every day, and I'm not doing caffeine, and I'm not doing sugar, and I'm laughing every week, and I'm going to dinner with my girlfriends on Monday nights. Write it down. When you're in the groove, there are things you are doing that make you feel alive and better and passionate. And so you need to know what those things are.
And you want to go back and remember it.
You need to remember it. Mine is music, singing, and dance. Anything that's theatrical movement and music and singing makes me feel alive. Yours is yoga. You feel so moved when you do yoga.
Right.
So figure out what your things are. Mine, and also connection.
Yes.
Like when we get together, even if we
when
don't
my
do
relationships are good with whoever,
Yes.
whether whoever I'm dating, or if it's my children or my girlfriends, whatever it is, those relationships, I think when those are good, I feel good. When I'm eating healthy and not drinking a ton of wine, I feel good.
Yeah.
When I'm doing yoga, I feel good, you know, and it's all those things. I think that was the hardest thing when I was on vacation, because, well, I did get my whole family to go do yoga, and it was amazing.
God.
It was amazing.
In a beautiful
My
setting.
dad, who's 72, 73 years old, did yoga for the first time.
I love that.
And did an did amazingly well. You know, obviously the teacher took it easy with, you know, the whole crew, but it was just so magical to see everyone doing yoga together. But my point was, going on vacation like that for long stretches of time, that's the hardest part for me, is not being able to keep those routines that make me feel great about myself, you know? And when you can do those things even on vacation, you know, or even when you're not feeling the best or not, you know, able to do everything that you need to do. If you can do that kind of stuff, it will make you feel better.
Absolutely. And connection, like what you're talking about. When you're in good connection with family members, friends, that makes a huge difference. So finding out what that is for you is important.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I don't want people to confuse this for depression, because I feel like that's a completely different thing, right?
Yes.
And not being able to get out of that kind of funk.
Yeah,
that's more of a chemical thing.
Right. So a funk is definitely something you can move in and out of, and can be, you know, men block your ears, but for us women it can be kind of hormonal, right? We're a little agitated and
So true.
Right. So, you know, shifting that body chemistry when you're in that hormonal place. But yes, for people that have depression, it's kind of like, I'm very visual, and I imagine kind of walking against the current of the ocean. It's like your legs are heavy, your arms are heavy, everything's hard. You know, when you're dealing with a friend that's depressed, when everything is a drama, big deal, it's so hard.
Right.
You know, you might say, hey, can you grab such and such on your way here? And it's like, well, I mean, you want me to go in and get it for you, and I have to stop at, it's like big drama. Whereas when they're not depressed, you would say that, and they'd be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll just bust through. So it's like everything's hard when you're depressed. Everything you feel, your arms and legs feel heavy, you have weights on them. So that's different, definitely.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I feel like, hi Tina, I've been going through, I don't know, but I feel like I've been going through some hormonal things lately for whatever reason. Well, for whatever reason, I'm 45. That's for whatever reason.
There's the reason, right there.
But yeah, I mean, how do you get that to do that? Because for me, like when I get in that funk, it's really hard for me to get myself out of that, and especially when I have like the hormonal stuff going on that feels so thick and heavy and like ugh. I just got the ugh stuff going on, you know?
So let's go to, whenever we're there, I always say like, let's go back to the basics. Like for example, right now we're sitting at my house. I have a gorgeous backyard and patio. It's just, the sun is shining, the trees are out. Even if you just go from the bed and just get your coffee and go and sit outside, sit in the sun, you want to hydrate, and you want to even if you just, scramble 2 eggs real quick, get your coffee and sit outside in the sun, hydrate and get some food in your body. Just the basics. Sometimes when we're in a funk, like I know I didn't eat this morning. I didn't want to eat. I was in that much of a funk. I was like, I feel crappy and I don't care. And for me, if I don't eat, my blood sugar just makes me, I'm awful, right? So it's just, sometimes you have to say, okay, the basics. A shower changes the way you feel, changes your blood pressure, changes everything. The sun, just a few minutes, your coffee, getting a little bit of caffeine or just for me, it's my coconut water in the morning, getting some food in. Now your systems are starting to operate a little more properly. So start there, one step at a time. Then if you feel a little better, then you can, like we talked about, integrate music or go for a drive or whatever. But sometimes it's just that we haven't even, when my daughter's in the roughest spot, I look at her and I say, have you eaten? Never. When she's in the roughest place, she has not eaten in 6 hours.
Well, think about it with your kids. They get in these funks too. I mean, when they haven't slept well, when they are not eating properly,
no hydration,
right? When they're on their phones for 10 hours, and you're like, have you stepped away from Fortnite for 5 minutes of your life? Fortnite is a game that my kids are obsessed with. So I think it's also, our kids can get in that funk as well.
Absolutely. So it's about going back to, when somebody has a trauma in their life, I am on them. Did you eat today? Did you drink a bottle of water? People lose people and they go right into that black hole. And they stop eating, they stop sleeping, they stop hydrating. And then they're like, I just feel like crap. I'm like, well, you haven't eaten in 8 hours. Right. Of course you feel like crap. There's no way that you can maneuver trauma, tragedy, stress without taking care of those basics for your body. Sunlight.
And I love what you said about getting out of the house and going to Target, because I feel like when I go, and most people don't like going to the grocery store.
Yes.
I actually do, believe it or not.
No, you can't make me.
But I really love just like getting out of the house and going for, even to the grocery store or to the farmer's market or something that just feels like you can, start, touch the fruit, even if you don't have a bunch of stuff to buy. Even going outside. What I love is like in the back of my yoga studio, they have all these plants. And like when you touch the plants, I don't know, there's just something tactile about that. Well, it is tactile, but there's something so satisfying about that. Other than just, you can look at them too, but actually touching the plants.
Well, what you're bringing up, which I love, is that you're telling us that you're tactile. And so that's another piece of this, is knowing yourself. So I am not tactile at all.
You don't like to touch plants, Shannon?
I'm not a toucher. I'm not a toucher. I know about you people. You people are always inappropriately groping the rest of us. No, I love it. I love touchy people. But what you're saying is you experience your world through your fingertips. So this is again about, how do I take care of myself? For you to know that is to know that you can shift your mood by going and touching fruit, or going in your daughter's room and tickling her back, or doing some kind of physical touch or connection. That's going to shift you, right? So knowing your senses, from sight, smell, touch, taste, hearing, those are your senses. For me, I'm very auditory with things like music, and I'm more movement, right? So definitely, and taste, for me, like eating and drinking is a big thing. So that's how I've always shifted my moods. I grew up with restaurateurs and going out to dinner and whatever. So for me, if I was really in a funk, the best thing for me would be to find a fun restaurant or go get my favorite sushi that would shift my mood. You are tactile. You need to touch things, maybe going to Target and even touching the different blankets or getting new towels. Right? Look, she's like lighting up. So getting to know who you are as far as what your senses, what stimulates you.
Yeah, it's true, because you know what? I have to have really nice feeling towels.
Yes.
Like that is so important to me. I spent a ton of money at Restoration Hardware on their Turkish. I'm telling you, if you want new towels and you're tactile like me, the Turkish cotton.
That's great.
Egyptian cotton. Is it Egyptian cotton
Yes.
or Turkish cotton?
It's Egyptian.
I think it's Turkish
Oh,
cotton.
okay.
At Restoration Hardware.
So maybe
the
they're
towels,
blending.
they are expensive. Sometimes they go on sale, but they're amazing.
How expensive are they? Dare I ask?
I don't know.
You're
I
gonna get
think
the
they were
dirt.
like $40 or $50 a towel.
Woo! You're really tactile.
Right. I did not pay that. I think they were like, I got them on
50%
half, 50% off
oh my
or something.
gosh, that's awesome.
But they're the best towels. But yeah, I do love to like touch. And there was one other thing I was going to say too that I forgot now, but that really helps me kind of get out of that funk. But that is funny that I'm a touchy person. I'm a touchy-feely person. Wendy says, Suzanne, are you feeling in a funk because you miss Roby already? I know. Love those videos and messages. I know.
I thought, actually, that's interesting because I forgot to tell you, I thought about doing a video today on transitions.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be huge for you with
It
Roby
is.
and saying goodbye to old things and new things. And it's a lot.
Yeah, so Eric Roby, my co-anchor at CBS 12, his last day was yesterday. So we had a lot of goodbyes and what I loved was seeing, because, we don't hear every day, how much people love us or how much people appreciate what we do. And, a lot of times we get emails that are kind of not so nice and a little bit nasty.
Yes.
And so it was really nice yesterday just to have so many people commenting and writing texts and, on social media, just how much they loved him and how much they've been with him for 17 years throughout the whole thing. And some people had even moved away and still watched us on the website. And like, it was just, so it was
feeling
really
the love.
nice. It was good to feel the love. And I think, he was feeling a little bit down yesterday, but that brought him out of his funk because so many people were just showing how much they loved him. And, so it was really nice. It was really nice. Your poem was amazing, and I may have teared up too, says Wendy. I wrote him a poem over a bottle of wine.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it on there.
It's on the Facebook Live on my Facebook page if anyone wants to go watch it. It's the end of the Facebook Live. I read the entire poem to him.
Oh, did he get
If anyone needs me to write a poem, I'm actually pretty good at writing poems.
Got a little knack at this. Oh my gosh, was he teary-eyed? Because this is a family. Like when I left you guys, I was crushed by that. There's a family there.
Oh yeah.
So he's gonna grieve. Sorry, Roby, you're gonna grieve.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's gonna grieve that loss of family, and you guys will grieve the loss of him. I mean, that's big.
That is the one thing. Even though it can be a hard business, and and it's hard to get up at that hour of the day. Oof. But I will tell you that it is the people that make the difference. It is the people. Like we have such a great team there, and just everyone is just supports each other. Yeah. In this business, which I'm sure there are a lot of egos.
Yes.
And there's a lot of competition, and people feel like they can't support each other because they're always trying to get their position. And we don't ever feel like that, at least not in the morning show. I always have felt like you need to support other people. There's enough room for everybody. Right. I mean, there's enough to go around. Yes. So I've always felt like that. So yeah, it has been a hard transition, and it will be over the next couple of weeks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, because you're a peacock. You got to fly.
That's right.
You got to fly, man. He's going to be a realtor. He's going to do great. I'm so excited for him. I mean, oh my gosh.
And so many people are hitting him up on social media too, saying, I might need to sell my house soon.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want the famous guy that you watch every day driving around with you?
Sell your house.
And then going to do margaritas with you after. I mean, he's like got the whole thing planned.
I know. Roby said that his tagline for his real estate, for if you want to buy your home from me, you'll get a free margarita.
Yes. Which is really his way of saying, it's going to be a long day. We got to stop halfway through and have some drinks, and I'll buy you one because we got to do it.
That's right. Men versus menopause. Any hints?
So you're dealing with a partner that's going through menopause?
I think
we will pray for you. Yes, lots of hints. So please don't minimize their feelings, right? So if you have a partner, and this really translates to anything. So we had someone ask the question, menopause. Oh, are you in menopause? So if you have somebody in your world who's going through menopause, which I'm starting to, knock on that door being at my age. So I have a lot of friends and clients and people that are that age. It's really tough.
Yeah.
It can be really tough. And then I have my friend Tanya, who's like, no, I don't think I really went through it, and we want to choke her to death. So it can be really tough. So being a supportive, validating partner where what you're doing is you're not arguing, you're not telling them to cheer up. I mean, we just do that so often as humans, right? So someone comes in, they're like, I'm really anxious today, and we say things like, what are you anxious about? We have money in the bank, I'll do whatever, just relax. You're fine. There's nothing to worry about. And we just invalidate them. And that makes it so much worse. If you can just hold the space for your partner, whatever they're going through. I woke up this morning in pain, and my husband wasn't, he didn't say, well, it'll go away, or you'll be fine. He said, take a hot shower. That always helps me. I'm so sorry that, it's so hard to get older. I know my shoulders hurt as well. Like, he validated, he was supportive. I'm sorry you're going through this. He inquired, well, was that from sleeping on it wrong? Like, he seemed to care.
What can I do to help?
Is there anything I can do to help? Show interest, act like you care. Notice I'm saying act. Present that you care, but validating that. And if there's anything that you can do, I know that men are not in menopause, but as a man, you have had a headache, you have had a migraine, or you have had, a stomach ache, or you have been out of sorts in your life. Find that moment for you that you can relate to with them, and to just be like, I know that that's miserable when you're anxious. I'm really sorry that you're going through that. Is there anything I can do to help?
Yeah, and you will be surprised at the reaction that you get. I mean, I think as women, when we don't feel validated, we, for me, it's I shut down. Yeah. And I just won't tell you anything. Yep. Or we get angry. Yes. And then we get pissed off.
And attacking and reactive, and somebody menopausal who's angry and agitated. Right. I just say take cover.
That. Yeah. So definitely. So I think, is if you can just be there for that person. I think that is the biggest thing. I mean, you will be surprised when you react in a way that is validating, how different that is, and how they will react to you than if you are just
discounting.
Discounting.
You know what? I love where this is going, because we started by talking about how to shift our moods, but what actually, Tom, you brought up is how to shift your partner's mood. And that's a fair question, because I think we all want to do that. And of course, the reality is you're not going to be able to change how someone else feels, but most of us attempt to, and we fail miserably. And we upset them more. Yeah. So if you really want to change how your person or your partner feels, validate them, listen to them. Oh gosh, I'm sorry you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. That stinks. Is there anything I can do to make it better? I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I felt that way yesterday. Help them feel human, help them feel not crazy. We women hate to feel crazy. Help them to feel like everything's okay, and that will help shift the other person's mood.
Yes. Your children, you can react to your children that way. It's a very good way to react to children. And also, like anyone in your life, coworkers who are having a bad day, when you can validate that and say, is there anything I can do to help? You will be surprised at the reaction that people...
And I'm sorry that you're going through that. Just in case people are wondering, validation, the definition of that, because a lot of people were like, okay, how do you validate? So validate is coming from a place of understanding and letting people know, Suzanne, you're making so much sense to me. So when somebody is saying something and you let them know, gosh, I really get you, I get it, you're making sense to me, that's validation. And people just feel, thank God, I'm not alone, I'm not crazy, there's nothing wrong with me.
Right. And I mean, sometimes you have to validate yourself.
When all else fails.
That's right.
Pet your dog.
Pat yourself on the head. Go touch some plants.
Yes. Go buy $50 towels. I didn't say that, Suzanne did.
Go to Target with your daughter.
Keep it simple.
Wendy says, have a great day, ladies. Looking forward to your next video. Always fun and informative to watch. P.S. Go Knowles.
Okay, there's going to now be a technological difficulty.
Wendy, Shannon went to University of Florida as well.
You're outnumbered, outgunned right now. Yeah.
But
Game
thanks
over.
for watching, Wendy.
Take care, guys. I think so. Yeah, I think that's a wrap. I mean, that's pretty much the basics on how to shift out of that.
Yeah.
And really just what I love that you highlighted, Suzanne, is really figuring out who you are and what shifts you,
yeah.
what your senses are that you need to stimulate, and how do you get into the groove? What keeps you in the groove?
Yeah.
And then doing it.
Yeah, I love the idea about writing that stuff down when you are in the groove. So then you can go back and say, oh, this is what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, we never remember.
Right.
When we're out of the groove,
We never remember.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. And don't forget to like our page, like our videos, share our videos. One of the biggest compliments you can give us is to share our videos. And we would love to hear what you want us to talk about. We're coming up with show topics just based on what happens in our lives. But please, please, please let us know what's going on in your life.
Yes.
Lori, you two are the best. Totally shifted my life recently. Yes.
Mwah! We love you, Lori. More shifts are coming. More shifts are coming.
What was I going to tell Lori about? I was going to tell her something. I got to text you, Lori, because I was thinking about something I needed to give you, or anyway, I'll text you. And the other thing is podcasts. We're up on podcasts. Our podcasts are pretty popular too.
Really?
People are like listening to us,
I wouldn't know because I don't know how to check any of that. But Suzanne says it's going well.
It is. And very soon, very, very, very soon, we are going to up our game audio-wise. We're going to start using microphones, which not just on the microphone.
Yes,
so
this is new information.
This is new information,
okay.
and we are going to start doing that soon. So our audio will sound a lot crisper and clearer on podcasts.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we're getting up. Oh, her cooler! I'll come get it. That's right. I have her Yeti cooler. It's a nice one too.
Oh yeah, that's okay. We'll hold it for a week.
I'll keep your cooler.
You're busy.
And your Tito's vodka. Just kidding. All right, guys. Well, have a great day.
Have a wonderful day. And if you're not having a great day, shift your mood.
Shift it. All right.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.